live on my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, please know that there's hundreds of videos, how to for stretching and basic fitness and exercise snacks. And today I'll be discussing autophagy. It is not a Latin poet or philosopher, but it is a pretty scientific philosophy for how to kickstart, reset, supercharge your system, and it's practically free. In fact, I didn't even spend money on food. I bought some lemons and some salt. And so I drank a lot of water with a lemon and salt for electrolytes. And you cycle through. Yes, I was hungry for a couple of days by choice. I know there's people that are hungry not by choice, but my heart goes out to them. But this is a longevity strategy. This is a longevity strategy that boosts your growth hormone. In the 48 to 72 hour zone, it boosts it like 300 to 500%, which is pretty amazing, and worth being hungry for a couple days. So yeah, I haven't done that in a while. But I'm really glad I did. I'm really glad I stuck with it, and do hard things, builds character. That was good. It's super important to stay hydrated when you do it. Yes, and it is. It's good for all of the systems of your body, from your digestive system, giving it a break for a few days, to your nervous system, to pretty much everything. So certainly there's times that you shouldn't be doing it, when you're pregnant, or various different times. But I picked a time that I had minimal clients to show up for, and I had time to rest and rejuvenate. So I'm super glad that I did it. If any of you are thinking about doing it, I highly recommend it. And honestly, I got excellent coaching from ChatGPT, because it has access to all the science and such. So that is my subject for today. There's not a lot to say about it, except, if you would like to reset your system, accelerate your growth hormone, it's a really inexpensive way to do that. It's a really inexpensive way to do that. Plus, I've been binging on some myofunctional techniques. I did a lot of breath work that I've learned from Chuck McGee III. He does breath coaching sessions twice a week. You can find him online. And what else did I do? I did a lot of postural resets, and you can't work out a lot when you're fasting. It's not ideal, but I was inspired to amp up my morning routine. So instead of just, standing in the sunlight and breathing, I would take walks in the morning, and those turned out to be really synchronistic, very synchronistic. I don't wear Crocs. Actually, I go barefoot as often as possible. I'm a huge fan of barefoot training. I just love being barefoot. And gosh, I think I have one pair of Crocs for like when it rains or something. But no, I have several pairs of the 5 Fingers shoes. I have a pair for hiking. I have a pair for when it's too cold in San Francisco to be barefoot in my own home. And I have a Did I say I have a trail pair? Yeah, it's trail running pair that I hike in if it's not too cold out for my feet on the ground. But it's really important. We have almost a third of your joints are in your feet. And they have contact, they have communication with even your head. They certainly inform your joints, your knees and your back and your hips and your neck. So in fact, that is an upcoming thing. I am going to be taking someone who I noticed had a challenge gait pattern, and he's been trying to stretch his hamstrings because his hamstrings are chronically tight, and I'm sure that they are, but because it's the way that he's standing. The way that he's standing is stressing them out, and it's likely stressing. First thing he said, he was working on his back, right? So tight hamstrings are not the cause of the back pain. Postural distortions are the cause of both. So upcoming video on that. Yeah, that's it's these things that just seem so normal to me, but like things that are probably normal to you guys, like navigating anything you have to click. Not so easy for me. So I am kind of a whiz with bodies, and I like to share that. I do hands-on assisted sessions in San Francisco, but I also do coaching via Zoom all over the world, and I do this live where people can ask questions. Does anyone have any questions about autophagy or fasting? Okay, well, one of my hamstring stretching videos is up, and it is important to stretch your hamstrings, but you just can't keep blaming your hamstrings for being tight if you're giving them a job to do that isn't supposed to be their job. Is intermittent fasting okay? Yes, properly done. I haven't actually done that, but I'm inspired by my 3.5 day autophagy fast, so I am likely to take up intermittent fasting because I actually got a lot of clarity. I'm not new to meditation, but day 3 had a seriously spiritual component to it, and I was getting a little bit of that, throughout. Yeah, intermittent fasting is an excellent longevity practice, and I intend to explore it. Do you do it? So I don't know if you were here when I mentioned that I consulted with Dr. ChatGPT about this, but there's a lot of information out there. Cool. How's that going for you? There's a lot of information out there from Peter Attia. He's like a premier longevity doctor. Mindy Perez, Fast Like a Girl. So like doing it with your cycle. If I was young enough to be having cycles, I would be paying attention to that. Yeah, you feel better in the morning. Eating after dark is just a bad idea. It's just a bad idea. Even though don't have a direct plan for intermittent fasting yet, except now it appeals to me after the results that I felt with my 3-day autophagy. I am definitely committed to not eating after dark, like eat in the sunlight. You know what else I heard? And I heard this in Chuck McGee's breathwork class Monday. It kind of blew my mind that the sleeping 8 hours thing, that was created by the Industrial Revolution, which of course was created to make us go to factories and make money for other people, right? So, but that natural sleep cycles are not that. And so here everyone's pathologizing the waking up at 3 or 4 or 2 or something like that. But I certainly have had times where, I've woken up and I want to study, I want to read, I want to meditate, I want to write poetry, I want to, sometimes I'll go for a walk because I live in a very safe neighborhood. So I'm lucky to be able to do that. But it's like even even some people on my medical team are like, well, are you sleeping all the way through the night? You know, it's just like learning that people don't naturally do that just made me feel so much better. Um, so, yeah, it's important to sleep well. It's important to sleep as much as you need. And we have individual needs, you know. We thrive on different foods. We thrive on different forms of exercise. We thrive on, you know, different everything. But we do need, you know, breath and sunlight in our eyes in the morning and some form of body movement, some form of exercise, you know, some form of connection. So thank you for coming and connecting with me here. I try to be here every Wednesday at 6:30. Last week was huge. Uh, it was a different setup. I think people thought I was going to start doing trapeze tricks or something, but but uh, but I don't know. I was just inspired to inspire other people to try intermittent fasting or autophagy. And yes, Peter Attia has a lot of information out there. Wendy Perez, I'm not sure if I'm saying her last name right, Fast Like a Girl. There's good information out there, and ChatGPT was serving it up for me. So please enjoy the hundreds of free how-to videos on my channel for stretching and some basic exercise and self-care. And drop me a comment, leave a comment, and I hope to see you soon. Not used to doing it on my phone. I'm trying to find the button.